What's the time, Mr. Wolf? It's 7 o'clock in the morning. Mr. Wolf is woken by 24 blackbirds. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? They tweeted. It's time for blackbird pie, yawns Mr. Wolf. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. All Mr. Wolf's neighbours slammed their doors on the way to work. Bang goes the door of the stone house. Crash goes the door on the wooden house. Thud goes the door on the straw house. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? Giggled the 3 little pigs. It's time for bacon sandwiches, muttered Mr. Wolf. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. Here comes the post girl in her little red hood. Oh, about time too, thinks Mr. Wolf, running to the door. But there is nothing for Mr. Wolf. Not so much as a card. Poor Mr. Wolf. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. Mr. Wolf is trimming his hairs on his chinny chin chin when the phone rings. Mr. Wolf hears a snort, then an oink, then a giggle. Finally, a voice squeals, "What's the time, Mr. Wolf?" "Not you lot again," growled Mr. Wolf. "It's time you little pigs bought a watch. Goodbye," and he put the phone down. It's 11 o'clock in the morning. Mr. Wolf's tummy gave a loud rumble. "What's the time, Mr. Wolf?" he wondered. Time for a snack. But when he goes to his cupboard, it is bare. Even his dish has run off with a spoon. It's 12 o'clock, midday. Time to go shopping, thinks Mr. Wolf. He's halfway to the shops when it starts to rain. Time he brought an umbrella, thinks Mr. Wolf. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Boing! There's a mouse running up Mr. Wolf's clock. "What's the time, Mr. Wolf?" squeaks the mouse. But the wolf doesn't answer. Mr. Wolf is out. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Mr. Wolf is in the cake shop. "What's the hurry, Mr. Wolf?" says the baker man. "I'm baking your cake as fast as I can, patting it and pudding it and filling it with jam. Baking for an hour, then remove from the pan." It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Mr. Wolf is tired and very, very hungry. He's heading home when zoom, whoosh, a crowd rushes past him. "No time to stop, Mr. Wolf," they gasp. "We're already late." It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Mr. Wolf takes a shortcut home. It's cool and shady under the tree. "Time for a nap," says Mr. Wolf. He's nearly asleep when, hey diddly-dee, diddly-diddly-dee. Wow! Mr. Wolf's eyes spring open. There's a cat playing the fiddle. 5 o'clock. Time to wake up, Mr. Wolf, the cat said. "Shall I play some more lovely tunes on my fiddle?" Mr. Wolf shudders. "Good grief," he says. "If that's the time, awfully sorry. Must dash." And he runs away as fast as he can. It's 6 o'clock. Boing, goes Mr. Wolf's clock. Boing, 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 twonk. "Shh," says Mr. Wolf's friends. Mr. Wolf is nearly home. He climbs the steps, lifts the latch, and opens the door. And... what time's it, Mr. Wolf? It's party time! And later, much later, all Mr. Wolf's friends have gone home. Mr. Wolf is brushing his teeth. Mr. Wolf is pulling up the quilt. "What's the time, Mr. Wolf?" says the stars. But Mr. Wolf doesn't reply, because Mr. Wolf is fast asleep. It's bedtime. The end.